The story of Adam and Eve is well known. Their first sons, Cain and Abel, have been the center of many tales. Cain, the firstborn, a farmer; Abel, the gentle shepherd. And then, the tragic moment, Cain's jealousy led to Abel's death, the first murder in history. But what many forget is that Adam and Eve had another son, a son who carried the promise of hope, Seth. The weight of loss hung heavily over Adam and Eve. The grief of losing Abel and the pain of Cain's banishment left them with a void that seemed impossible to fill. But in their sorrow, God showed mercy. In time, Eve bore another son. She named him Seth, recognizing that God had granted them another child in place of Abel. He was not just a son, but a sign that hope was not lost. Seth grew up in the shadow of past tragedies. He never knew Abel, yet his absence shaped Seth's life. He heard the stories, saw the pain etched into his parents' faces, and felt the responsibility of continuing a legacy that had nearly been extinguished. Unlike Cain, who was marked by rebellion, Seth sought something greater. He sought the presence of God. As he grew, Seth would often sit with Adam, listening to stories of the Garden of Eden, a place of perfect communion with God. He heard about the beauty of that paradise, the joy of walking with the Creator, and the sorrow of losing it all because of sin. These stories stirred something deep within him, a longing to know the God his parents once walked with, a yearning for restoration. As the years passed, Seth watched his father toil the land, working the ground that had been cursed. He saw his mother's quiet strength as she carried the burdens of their past. And he heard the distant tales of Cain's descendants, those who built cities and pursued their own ways. But Seth chose a different path. He longed for the relationship with God that his parents once had in Eden. He desired something more than survival. He desired restoration. Seth's heart was different. He was not driven by vengeance or pride. Instead, he was drawn to the whispers of God, the unseen but ever-present Creator. And in that longing, something remarkable happened. His family began to turn their hearts back to God. As he grew into a man, Seth took on the responsibility of leading his people in the ways of righteousness. He built simple altars, places of worship where he and his family could call on the name of the Lord. These moments of worship were unlike anything the world had seen before. While Cain's descendants built cities and sought their own glory, Seth's descendants gathered under the open sky, their voices lifted in prayer, their hearts longing for God's presence. Unlike Cain's lineage, which became known for its cities, its weapons, and its rebellion, Seth's descendants would become known for something else. It was in his time that people began to call on the name of the Lord. A revival had begun, not in grand temples or mighty fortresses, but in the hearts of those who remembered their Creator. Seth's life was a quiet one, but his legacy was profound. From his line would come Noah, a man who would walk with God when the world had turned to corruption. And through this lineage, generations later, would come Abraham, the father of nations. And beyond him, the greatest promise of all, the Savior, Jesus Christ. Through Seth, the knowledge of God remained alive. He passed it down to his children, ensuring that his descendants would remember the ways of the Lord. This knowledge would be the foundation of faith for generations to come. Seth's life was a testament to the power of faithfulness, a reminder that even in the darkest times, Those who seek God will find him. Seth's faith did not fade. He passed it down to his children, who passed it to theirs. Around simple altars, under open skies, the knowledge of God remained alive. While others forgot, Seth's line remembered. They worshipped, they prayed, they called upon the one who had created them. And because of this, the story of God's people did not end with Adam's fall or with Abel's death. It continued. As generations grew, Seth's descendants multiplied. They carried the teachings of faith through the years, preserving the truth in a world that often turned away. The faith that began in his heart would later sustain Noah, a man chosen by God to preserve humanity when the world fell into corruption. The knowledge of God, passed down from father to son, would eventually lead to the formation of a nation set apart for the Creator's purpose. In Seth's time, it was not power or cities that mattered most, it was faith. It was the decision to walk with God when the world was walking away. And so, through him, the promise remained unbroken. In the twilight of his years, Seth could look upon his family and see something greater than himself. He saw a people who had not forgotten. He saw the beginnings of a lineage that would one day change the world. He was not a king or a warrior. He was not the firstborn, nor the favored son. But he was faithful, and in the end, that was what mattered most. His life reminds us that true greatness is not found in power or recognition, but in faithfulness to God. While Cain's descendants pursued worldly achievements, Seth's lineage carried the seed of redemption. His name may not be spoken as often as Adam's, Cain's, or Abel's, but his impact is eternal. Seth's name is often overlooked, buried beneath the louder stories of his brothers, but his life carried the weight of something greater than recognition. It carried the promise of redemption. Because of him, the knowledge of God remained, and through him, the Savior would one day come. Sometimes, the greatest impact comes not from those who seek power or recognition, but from those who simply walk faithfully with God. Are you willing to be a Seth in your generation?